Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. This is the 17th day of my 30 dress watches in 30 days challenge. And tonight we're going to be looking at the Zenith Elite. We're actually going to be taking a tour of all the different variations in this lineup, but my personal favorite is the silver sunburst dial one. Just look at that piece. That is such a great looking watch. It's no date, it has really small triangular markers, and I'm a sucker for curveballs when it comes to watch designs, like the sub-seconds at the 9 o'clock position. So I found an article over at a site called The Watch Company, and the link to that article is in the description below, and they were going over all the different variants that are in the Zenith Elite line. So let's take a tour. So the first variant that we're looking at is a moon phase. It's reference 18.3100.692/01.C922. These watches have yellow gold cases, white dials, and the texture on the dial is very cocktail time style. It's sort of that really exaggerated sunburst grooves that come out of the center of the dial outward. It has the sub-seconds at 9 o'clock. The moon phase is a full circle at the 6 o'clock. It has Dauphine hands, and the indices on these watches are a bit different than the one that I just showed you. These ones have batten markers done in gold, yellow gold. The blue and white or very light cream of the dial with the blue leather strap all look so great together. This is such a great colorway, and I'm not even a yellow gold fan per se. And according to this article, it is actually part of their current catalog. The next piece is a blue dial variant with a stainless steel case, or at least a silver colored case. And this is the reference 03.2272.6150/51.7.C700. And this piece is actually kind of Bauhausy, so we ditch the sub-seconds at the 9 o'clock. We have batten markers, no date. For the even hours, the batten markers are doubled up. You don't see that very often. The hands on these watches are very thin and they're leaf-shaped. The whole piece is blue and silver, and it looks great. I love the minimalism of this variant. So nice. The case shape is kind of Bauhausy as well. It doesn't sweep or curve into the lugs. The case is very round, and then out of that, the lugs kind of protrude. I guess these are in 42 millimeters. So they're kind of on the larger side. And with this next one, we get a little gaudy. So this is the reference 51.2020/01.M2020. And I guess this is the Zenith Elite Captain Central. This is a two-tone variant with a bracelet. So the center links on the bracelet are gold, the rest of the bracelet is silver. The case is silver and the bezel is yellow gold. The dial is a nice silver color and the applied indices and hands are done in yellow gold. The seconds hand is blued and above the 6 o'clock is a date window. These pieces are also in 42 millimeters and I'm not huge on two-tone. Yeah. So these are okay, in my opinion. Next up we have another moon phase variant, and this one has a charcoal colored dial. This is the reference 03.3100.692/03.C923. And this one's a lot like the first one we looked at. It has that cocktail time texture on the dial. It has the 9 o'clock sub-seconds, batten markers, and a full circle moon phase done in blue, which is very interesting. That blue looks a little odd on the gray dial. Which isn't a bad thing, it kind of gives it a bit of intrigue. It's an interesting colorway. And it's intriguing how just changing the dial color and the case color will completely change a watch. This watch, even though it's very similar to the first one we looked at, looks quite a bit different. I agree with the author of this article. It has a different vibe. Okay, now we get to my favorite one. This is the Zenith Elite Ultra Thin. This is the silver sunburst dial. Reference 03.2010.681/01.C493. And this watch is in 40 millimeters, so it's a pretty common contemporary size, smaller than the 42s that we were looking at earlier. And these watches just look so cool. I love the small hour markers that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It just gives it such a clean look. Yeah, this one is definitely my favorite in the lineup. That looks so cool. And they have 50 meters of water resistance, so a bit more than a typical dress watch. There's also a rose gold variant that has markers similar to my favorite piece, but this one has a white dial or light cream and rose gold case, as well as markers and hands. There are also a couple blinged out variants. I also found a blog to watch article where they were looking at 2 Zenith Elite watches, and one of them was the gray dial variant that we just talked about. And very interestingly, it seems that these are available in 40 millimeters like I mentioned, but they're also available in 36 millimeters. I would be down for a 36 millimeter. And they describe the dial as a sunray dial. I'm going to have to remember that. And the shots that they got of the dial on this watch are phenomenal. Just look at those. Excellent photographs. There's a link to this article in the description below if you want to check it out in detail. But it seems that these watches, at least the moon phase variant, are not cheap. They retail for $13,000. Ouch. But they are amazing looking. Thanks for watching.